Hello, YouTube. As you can see, I currently have it at 68 degrees Fahrenheit inside a Little Blue. Nothing like ice cold air conditioning while living in a van in Florida during the summer. So the other day I had showed how to hook up a window AC unit, and it was kind of sunny and hot outside, and it was like about 88, 89 degrees outside, and I managed to get the van down to about 76, 74, which was acceptable, but really not that cool. And it was because the sun was out. But today the sun is not out. And you might be thinking that I have the air conditioner up, but reality is no. The air conditioner isn't mounted right now. And this is actually how I would recommend getting air conditioning in your van if you're wanting AC in a minivan or you're in a full-size van. That I think is more practical than having a window unit. Even though there are some cases where you'll want the window unit, which I'll show you and talk about a little bit in another video coming up here shortly. So you might be wondering how I'm doing this, and basically I'm just running the AC from Little Blue. A while back, Marcelo from I can't remember the name, Express Tech Auto had repaired the air conditioning unit for Little Blue, so it's blowing ice cold air, and it has air vents up front where it's blowing it cold, and there's air vents in the back that deliver the air to each section of the van. So even though Little Blue is kind of old looking and run down looking and stuff, pretty much she still works very well. And if I wanted it to feel even colder, I could actually turn on this fan. My plug's a little loose here, so let me plug this guy in, make sure he's plugged in, get my fan to come on, and it'll actually circulate the air. I'm having issues here. Let me see why this is not working here. Is it off? Is it on? I'm gonna have to mess with this. I think the plug might be loose or something. I'll have to mess with that later, but basically I can have this fan circulating and it would blow cold, make it feel even colder in here. But the key to it is really the fact that today is a wet day. It's raining outside, so temperature outside isn't that hot. The sun's not out, and you could actually have air conditioning inside your vehicle running while your car's on idle, which isn't the most ideal, but usable if it gets unbearably hot and you want to lay down. But what I would recommend in this kind of case is that you have a working carbon monoxide detector. As you can see, we've got here. Check it out. So that way, if your vehicle is producing exhaust, which it is, and the exhaust manages to get into the vehicle, which has the exhaust has carbon monoxide, because when you burn things like gasoline and stuff, it produces carbon monoxide. The alarm will go off, and for additional safety, you might even want to get two of these things. They're under $20 at Walmart, so for $40, you could have two of them, and you can, make sure you have fresh batteries in them, which I would change out probably at least once a year, maybe every 6 months to play it safe. And you can have it set up, and if you wanted air conditioning, you could sleep like this with the AC running. And this is even I think adjustable. It tilts. See the vent. I don't know if you can see the vent moves there. The vent inside. So I can tilt it right at my face and have it blowing like ice cold air conditioning right at my face. And I don't have a bulky window unit out where it sticks out. I don't have to pop the window. I can still stay in somewhat stealth mode. And obviously, other than burning gasoline, I don't have to worry about electrical. So this is how I actually would recommend trying to stay cool in your van if you aren't parked at somebody's house or something where you have access to gridded power. Because if you had access to gridded power, it may be worth it to install the window air conditioning unit. So we're going to look at that later today, even though it is rainy. I'll show you how I mount it on here using this. This is like my little window bracket mount that I made for the back of the van to mount the air conditioning unit. You can see it's stored under here. That's the holder bracket right there. So the AC is actually hidden underneath the bed right now because it's not being used. And I am going to show you how to make that window air conditioning unit work. You know, so those of you who still want to install one, you know, just show you how I did it in this van, maintain stealth, and get it cold enough. Like on today, I'm pretty sure, see, it's up to 71 right now with me in here. So even the vehicle AC, you know, with your body heat and stuff, it can start to go up and down, but it feels cold. And once I diagnose and figure out the issue with my my fan here, why it's not coming on, plug is broken or loose or something, there's a bad connection or something. Once I get it working, which it worked last night, so I'm not sure why it's not working right now, but it's probably just a loose connection. Once I get it working, it'll blow the cold air and it'll feel really cold in here, like freezing cold. So this is Denoy's solution. So it depends on having a vehicle that has working air conditioning unit. You know, so make sure you get a vehicle that has a working air conditioning unit. And if you don't have one that has a working air conditioning unit, try to find a good mechanic who can repair the AC unit. I was very lucky that Marcelo pretty much did it for free. Marcelo at Express Tech Auto in Palm Bay. Check him out. He's a great mechanic. Tony works for him. He's got several new mechanics. They're a great shop, very honest, and they don't charge you like crazy prices. And he did this for free, but I think total cost was really minimal. Mostly the refrigerant. And I don't think he had to, I don't know if he had to replace a valve or something. But it wasn't too expensive, but you have to have a mechanic who knows air conditioning systems, you know, for vehicles. Otherwise, they will, you know, you can end up recharging and it's still leaking and doing all sorts of other weird stuff. So get a good mechanic and they can get it working. I know in the past when I didn't have access to Marcelo, I didn't even know he existed. I went to another mechanic and they wanted like a couple $1,000s to fix the vehicle AC, which is ridiculous on an old vehicle. So find a good mechanic and they might be able to do it for a couple $100 or less. But anyhow, it is worth it to run AC if you need to. And this is what I would do in Florida or elsewhere versus putting up the window unit if I was stealth camping, urban stealth camping. But if I was at a park, a campground or a park, or at somebody's house where I had access to 120 volt power, I would probably put in the window unit. You know, the one that we mounted right here. It's basically 5,000 BTU air conditioner, and then run it off electrical. That way the vehicle doesn't have to run, because having your car sitting in idle running like this isn't really good for the engine. And I know one of the viewers was telling me this is what they do to cool down, and they did it without carbon monoxide. My advice is get a without carbon monoxide detector. I'm advising you to get a carbon monoxide detector, because for less than $20, you have that safety feature of if the carbon monoxide, you know, were to get into your vehicle, which happens. I know you say you've been doing it for a while and never had that issue. You've been lucky. All it takes is a little leak somewhere, or you're parked at a location where the air isn't flowing, you know, because your exhaust will hit the pavement, and then the carbon monoxide comes right back up, and you don't really smell it. Carbon monoxide doesn't have any smell. And you're laying here sleepy already, you know, so you might not even detect that carbon monoxide poisoning is occurring. So you can see it still says 70 right now, probably because of my body heat out here. But very, very much doable. I mean, it feels like I'm in an air-conditioned building. And like I said, the reason for this being like this is the fact that it's an overcast day. It's raining outside, so it's not super hot. If it was a hot day, you would want to park under shade, like under a tree or something, where the sun isn't. See, I can touch the roof right now, and it's not hot at all. It's cool to the touch. The other day, when the temperature wouldn't get past 74, 76 with the window air conditioning unit, the roof, I could feel the heat coming from there, and even from the windows here. So that's the big difference, is, you know, outside temperature as well as exposure to the sun. So keep that in mind when you're designing your vehicle for cooling. And, you know, this system works for heating too, because the vehicle air conditioning also has heat mode. So during the winter, you could do this, and, you know, that's if you didn't want to run a propane heater, a separate propane heater. You can start your vehicle up, you know, turn on the vehicle's heater and have it blow throughout the whole system. The issue will be how much gasoline you use up, and, you know, of course, the potential for carbon monoxide poisoning. Remember, get a carbon monoxide detector. For safety, you might even want two. If you have a propane system that heats up, it still releases carbon monoxide. So even if you do that, you'll still want to get carbon monoxide detector. Definitely something I promote and push, because I see too often on the news that a person or a family has died in their van from carbon monoxide poisoning because they were living in it and had the vehicle running for whatever reason. So please stay safe. In the meantime, I hope you guys found this video informative, if not useful. Be sure to stay tuned. We're going to be doing a video showing how I did all this with the air conditioning and how it could install. And we'll do a comparison and see how the temperature gets, how cold it gets. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Please stay safe. Bye-bye now.